Searching, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness, all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When Granny's crime busters ride, no victims left to pay. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing all right. Tonight we are talking about Sebastian, as promised. I'm going to go over the video I showed last night, talk a little bit about what everyone thinks about it. And there is one thing that I did want to, bring to your attention. All right. So I'll share my screen with you. Hello, Ginger. Good to see you. I'll try to make it bigger so you guys can see this better. Is that better? Okay. All right. So At Night put this out today, just a few hours ago. And it says, this time last year, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a bright and cheerful 15-year-old with a passion for animals and a deep love for water, fishing, and perhaps even the beat of the Eye of the Tiger, was safe at home in Sumner County. Just 3 days later, on February 25th, 2024, he vanished, leaving a void that has haunted his loved ones ever since. As we near the 1-year mark of his disappearance on February 25th, now just days away, At Night stands resolute with the Sumner County detectives and their partner agencies in their tireless search for Sebastian across the United States and Canada. Following weeks of discussions, we hold immense confidence in the investigators and Sumner County detectives, joined by the countless volunteers scouring for any trace of Sebastian, his disappearance, or those responsible. We need your help. Every piece of information, no matter how small, could be the key to bringing him home. Your vigilance, whether sharing this post, reporting a sighting, or debunking rumors, could make all the difference. Please rely on official updates from law enforcement or trusted sources to combat the flood of misinformation. We remain hopeful for Sebastian's safe return and are profoundly grateful for the detectives, partner agencies, and community members working around the clock. If you have any information, contact the Sumner County Detectives at 615-451-3838 or visit sumnersheriff.com. We'll continue to provide updates as the search progresses. Together we can find Sebastian and fill this void his absence has left. And then it gives you, if you have any details related to these threats or the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, you can also contact Sebastian at manhunts.1. Call or text to 844-922-3236 or Dog the Bounty Hunter tip line 833-TELL-DOG. And then it gives TBI and the Sumner County Sheriffs, as well as tips to the tbi.tn.gov and tips.fbi.gov. At Night remains resolute and undeterred. No amount of intimidation will prevent us from pursuing justice for Sebastian. At Knight and his partners have no significant updates to report at this time. Nevertheless, we remain resolute in our unwavering commitment to locating 16-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and diligently pursuing every lead with unwavering focus. We continue to analyze the information received, including public tips and surveillance data, while maintaining ongoing coordination with our partners. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of Sebastian, please contact Sumner County, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, or via email tips to tbi@tbi.tn.gov. I always want to say Tennessee. Thank you for standing with us. Together, we will continue pushing forward until we have the answers that Sebastian deserves. So the one thing that really stood out to me in this was this statement. Your vigilance, whether sharing this post, reporting a sighting, or debunking rumors, could make all the difference. Because, guys, we do know how much misinformation is out there, right? Dreaming of blue skies, good to see you. Yes, I did see it last night. It was kind of funny because I showed it at the beginning of my live last night, and I said, I really hope Mob Crew does something with this. Hello, Cheryl, and hello, Victoria. Good to see you guys. So I said, yeah, I really hope that Mob Crew, takes a look at this. And when I got off my live, he was already on it. But the one thing that I did want to go over, and I'm sure Dreaming, you realize this as well. Debunking rumors is important. I have said that, right, guys? I told you I wasn't keen on the blob photo, right? There's just been some things that I haven't been too keen on, and I've stood my ground, and I know it doesn't make me popular, right? But I will always debunk rumors because it doesn't do us any good to be relying on misinformation out there. Hello, K9. Good to see you. So, and one of those rumors, and the Mob Crew did it as well last night. That video is a nothing burger, right? I forget which creator says that, but it's a nothing burger. Okay. Even though, well, I'm going to show you. So, okay, right here. The surveillance video released by the media, released by SF, was met. Here, I'll make that bigger so you guys can see that because I know that's hard to read otherwise. Okay. With a vague response from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, which failed to clarify whether all individuals present during that time frame had been accounted for. The ambiguity itself is strange. I was shocked by the admission that it took 72 hours to retrieve surveillance footage from immediate neighbors in an Amber Alert case, but that is a separate issue. Okay, I'm going to make a comment about that statement. First of all, it doesn't mean it took them 72 hours to retrieve them. They were out there searching. They had all hands on deck searching for Sebastian Rogers that first week. Any surveillance that came in, they had guys going and canvassing. Okay. They had guys doing that. Those first couple days. So that doesn't mean that they didn't get the footage until 72 hours in. It means that's when they were first able to really take a look at it. They only have so much resources, and look at how many resources were brought in. So that statement right there just really irritated me, guys. I'm sorry. Remember, they dismissed Green Hoodie person, and rightfully so, but then said they tracked down and thoroughly interviewed the person. You know, he's basically going after law enforcement in this post. So, what I'm going to say here is that can law enforcement be wrong? Yes. But how many times has law enforcement come out in this case to debunk stuff? Very few, guys. Very few. So, in my opinion, when they come out and they say, nope, then we need to listen to them. The mob crew looked at that video last night and said, it's not somebody watching and hiding. It was the person walking the dog ran off, and then the person ran back after the dog, as far as he could tell. LE said, nope, it's not anything related to the case. So, hello, SRB. I know, it really is. And, you know, and when I showed it last night, which, guys, I always told you that whenever somebody says there's something breaking in the case, I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to talk about it. About the only thing that I never did show was the blob photo, but it was out there. Everybody knew what I was talking about. You know, if I don't agree with it, I'm just going to tell you I don't agree with it. Right? I may show it to you, but I'll probably say I don't agree with it. Honestly, when I saw that last night, it had come out just before I went live. I really couldn't see much in there. It looked like something was moving. I couldn't tell. Right? And that's why I said, I hope the mob guy looks at it. And when I got off my live, there he was looking at it already. He had been live for like 11 minutes when I got off. I'm like, wow. Ask and you shall receive, right? So he looked at it and he said, no, you know, but there is something behind it that was bigger and he can't talk about. Okay. So I believe he and his sources know more. And I understand why he isn't saying anything. He doesn't want to burn his sources. You know, I get it. I don't blame him. I would be doing the same thing. Mom's going to be doing another show tonight on the video. Cool. Yes. I think even if he did have something, Victoria, he doesn't know what he's looking at. Sorry. He just doesn't. You did the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. I went right over there to look because I was curious, right? But I mean, if you really look at SF's things now, these last few were about Sebastian, but he's out looking for Hannah Kobayashi. He said he never stated to WSMV that this could be the break. And then he's talking about another one, Hiram Baltazar. You know, so he's not even really invested in this case. And I heard that he was fired. I don't know if that's true or not, guys, but the point is, if he was, he's on to other cases. he doesn't really care about this case, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think he cares. But yes, this whole video right here just is really nothing, right? It's not anything. So, law enforcement had it right from the day one. And and SF mentions, why didn't they ever show it to the public? We don't need to see everything that they get, especially if they've debunked something. Guys, if they have a vehicle that they're looking for, like in the Idaho 4 case, law enforcement put that out there. We're looking for this, right? If they need something, they will put it out. There's also a child's life that could be at risk here. I think Chris respects that as well. SF is rude and reckless. Yes, exactly. Yes, and that picture was beautiful, by the way, K9. It's gorgeous. Yeah, and that happens all the time. I'll be watching something and then, I'll get sent something. I'm like, this is so weird. It does happen all the time to me. Yeah, throwing darts in the dark. Exactly. And, we all want to find him, right? But this, this could be breaking. Come on. Come on, because we don't know that, right? We don't know that. We just don't know that. I was going to look at this because, let's see. Dog put this out. About 5 hours ago. Okay. So he's kind of slowed this way down. It's right at the end. He slowed it way down. And, oh crap. Let me find it again here. Okay. So he slowed it right down, and in the back here, behind it, let me get myself out of the picture. Okay. And in the back here, behind this inlaid picture, he shows some things. Okay. So, I realize that it's looking at Green Hoodie again, but I have felt for a while, and I know Green Hoodie was debunked, and I don't think that's the point here, but I have felt for a while when At Night and Dog put this out, this video, that they asked us to send them things that we see in this video, which, we've looked at things and we've said, okay, I am going to I was going to try to take off that logo. It's not going to let me. It's going to put up StreamYard's logo if I don't have my own in there. I feel like it's in the way. But anyway, what I was saying was that there's something that they're wanting us to see in this video. I'm not sure what it is. Since Dog has put it out, let's watch it, see if we see anything, right? Keeping in mind that law enforcement says that Green Hoodie has been debunked, okay? And let's go from there. Now you can see it's going really, really slow. Look at how slow the guy in the yellow jacket. But look in this green, where this green arrow is. What are they wanting us to see right there, guys? What do you see? I mean, obviously, in these kinds of things, my eyes are not that great. But I'm looking to try to see what I can see. Okay, now we've got Sebastian looking in that direction, and he's going to be walking around the front of the car in just a few minutes here. Do you see a face right there? Is that a face, guys? What is that? And now Katie's walking up. What was that? I'm going to stop it and see what you guys are saying. Okay. So I truly believe KP was giving this woman something that she had hidden under the front of her jacket. I clearly see an exchange of something. Maybe wearing this "Hello, Bernadette." Sebastian is, yes, I've always said that. Sebastian was very focused. He stopped, though. He didn't want to walk to that person. And he ended up walking around. You're zoomed in and you see that. Was it a face, SRB? Is it the shirt emblem reflection, though? Okay. Yeah, see? Why did he put this out there now for us? Right? He doesn't say anything. Let me see. Yeah, he didn't say anything. He just, why is he putting that out there for us now? What is he wanting us to see? And he's obviously got the green arrows pointing us to what he's wanting us to look at, which to me is he showing us where that arrow is pointing is not where Green Hoodie is standing. That would be the reflection off the glass or whoever is sitting next to them in that car. There's a reason he put that out here just 5 hours ago. See, that's what I thought too. Was short sideburns. Yeah, thank you, Dreaming. Yeah, they are still focused on this for a reason. There is a reason for it. I don't know what that is, but they're seeing something. Yeah, you see if you saw short. I'm gonna, guys, watch the bigger picture. I'm gonna just back it up a little bit before he puts the green arrow up there. Okay. I'm gonna play it again. And take a look where that green arrow is and tell me what you're seeing. And now Sebastian's just walking up to the front of the car and he sees this person. And he stops right in front of it. He just stopped there, right? And Katie comes up behind him and tells him to walk to the other side of the car, looks like. But he does not take his eyes off of that person. Every time I try to move my mouse, I will try to pause it when that face comes down that me and SRB thinks is a face. Oh, and it's going to have that stupid thing in the middle of it, isn't it? Of course it does. That is Green Hoodie walking forward. Hello, Lizzie and Kurt. Good to see you. Welcome in. We're just looking at the TRH video that Dog put out again about 5 hours ago. So yeah, guys, as soon as I try to pause it, it puts the name of the video right there over it. I'm sorry. I wish I could do better, but it won't let me do anything different. But do you see that face? And now it's coming back. And then here comes Katie. Okay, I definitely see an exchange going on of something, right? And there's Sebastian. So he sees everything that's going on there, guys. He has never taken his eyes off. So what is Dog wanting us to see there? Dark hair, yeah. You're going to take a screenshot when I get to it again? Do you want me to back it up again, SRB? Because every time I try to, save it, yeah, it's very irritating. I don't know what they're trying to say. Do you want me to back it up again, SRB? So to you, that's Green Hoodie walking forward, but it looks like they're bending down. Yeah, that's true. Um, I know one of the last things that Hung has put out about the case was that okay. um, but one of the last things that Hong had put out was that they believed that there was a handoff right after this, that Sebastian never made it home. Play it again. Don't worry about pausing. Okay. Play it one more time. Let's see where we were. Here we go, guys. So watch the green arrows and you tell me what you think. Okay, I think I can see the white strings from the hoodie. They said it had white strings coming down. I think I could see those when she moved forward. Sebastian's walking out and around now. He's already seen her, but he's still staring at her. That is so weird. That looks like a face. And then here comes Katie. I don't know, guys. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. It's awesome. If you received a membership from Cheryl, please thank her. And we're going to thank you.
Granny wants to thank you all for kindness in the chat. Super stickers, bright and grand, gifts of love we understand.
Memberships you gifted here spread the joy and banish fear. Every super thanks you send warms her heart and ends the end.
Granny cheers with love so true for each special thing you do. Thank you from her heart. You all play a major part.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just a logo? Okay. Gotcha. It's a green hoodie logo on the front. I wondered that before, if you could see movement in that car. Yeah. Yeah, whoever that person is, Sebastian, yeah. He wanted he he was actually, you can't tell if he's scared or if but he sure didn't take his eyes off of that person at all. So, yeah, that was kind of scary, I think. But my question is why is Dog wanting us to take a look at this again, and specifically just that part? What is he seeing, right? What does he want us to see? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me as to why, after all this time, when Green Hoodie's been debunked, that we're looking at it again, right? It's surreal to see Sebastian moving around, right? It's just, last known video of him, actually, right, that we know about. Law enforcement may have more than what we know. That's Jennifer Coffindaffer believes that. She put out today, hello, Pitter Patter. She put out today that, SF's video was debunked, and she talked about, those of us who are concerned with only putting out information that is factual, to make sure we're debunking this other stuff, right? She's, because she said that when that video went out, she said she was watching all these places show it, which we were one of the first ones that showed it too, right? But she said there was like over 100,000 people that had seen it. And she said, and many times when things are debunked, that it not the same amount of people see that. So you've got all these people left believing that something is true when it's not, right? I can't wait till this case is solved and Sebastian is brought home. Yeah, I agree. It's been a long, rough year. And if it's rough for us to watch this because we care about Sebastian, think about what Seth's going through. And I guess that video that Katie did, it's also with Chris, and it's going to be taking place on Wednesday. It's going to be shown on Wednesday, the anniversary of his disappearance. And it's with Nashville WSMV, I think, TV with Holly Thompson, who interviewed them way back in the beginning. She's a friend of the family or something. So she looked pretty rough. Katie and Chris both did, I guess. But Katie, to me, really looked pretty rough. I saw a screenshot of it, and yeah. Yeah. Almost unrecognizable. I agree. Chris, to me, looked pretty much the same, maybe a little bloated, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those have been out there, haven't they? they looked pretty rough, didn't they? Honestly, I looked at her and for a split second, my mind went to, is she really innocent? For a split second, wasn't for very long. But I think, yeah, she's changed a lot. I'll be honest, guys, there's just so much inconsistency in her statement and everything else, that it's hard to believe her, isn't it? And she's the last person to see him. She never says, I love you, Sebastian. I think we might look at some more of Mike Demand's statement analysis, because he's got some good ones out there now since I stopped showing them. But he does. He's got some good ones out there again. And yeah, she does not portray herself like a mother who has a child that's missing, right? Yeah. But are we going to hear anything different, SRB? And so you thought the same thing, that for a split second you wondered if she was innocent. Yeah. But then I had to go through my mind of what I know. Behavior analysis, things that she said, the inconsistencies, and you're right back to where you are again, right? The fact that she doesn't act like a mother who has a son that's been missing all this time. But I'm going to want to see it, right? I'm going to want to see it. I'm hoping that Deception Detective will analyze it. Maybe we all need to be emailing him to analyze that. There's more people on the fence with her and her innocence. People you didn't expect. Gotcha. Well, in my opinion, so if she pled the fifth, here's my question. If she pled the fifth, and that was pretty much a fact as far as what I know, why is she talking to the news station now? And the other flip side of that coin is, if she pled the fifth, how can she be innocent? Because most people who do that need it to hide something that they've done. That's basically what I feel, Canine. Honestly, that's what I feel. The fifth just protects her from being interrogated by LE, but LE can use anything she says in public. They can. Does she really think she's not? she has not been good in being consistent in anything that she has said, guys. And it's been so obvious. Chris's timely coughs to let her know, hey, stop, you know. Yeah, why do you need to do it? Why do you need to do it, you know? But yes, I mean, they can go back and use anything that she says from any of her interviews and even compile them to show her inconsistencies for court. How many times have we seen that happen, guys? Right? Hello, Brenda Joe. Oh, I'm sure. Because the interviewer is a friend of theirs, Miss Holly. Yep. They can use news interviews as evidence. Yes, they can. Why has CP been there throughout the whole thing? Because it's coming out that he really he's the only one that we don't know where he was for sure. And it's been coming out more and more that he was in the area that weekend. No worries, Brenda Joe. So yeah, they can go back, they can pull everything, right? I'm sure they have. I'm sure that as each one has that they have saved it. You know, I wouldn't doubt it. And I'll bet they've got the other door for this TRH video as well. Because I want the front door video. You know, when this case does ever go to trial and whoever is responsible, right? It's really going to be interesting for all of us to watch that because we're going to be glued wanting to see what information haven't we seen yet, right? If they show video from the other door to the Texas Roadhouse, we're going to be like glued. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, look at oh, I didn't oh really that happened, you know. We're going to be shocked. We're going to be shocked. It's you know, and I hope it's sooner rather than later. I know it takes time to build a case and they want to have a solid case. I think what they want is they want to find Sebastian. I think they have a strong idea of, you know, who's responsible. My opinion, I don't know that for sure, but that's what I think. But I think they want to find Sebastian. Right? Because guys, if he's alive out there and somebody has him, law enforcement's goal is to keep him safe. So what have we seen that is not relevant? This video right here that I showed last night, debunked, not relevant. Debunked by law enforcement. Green hoodie was debunked by law enforcement. I don't understand why Dog has us looking at that again. Because he sent this just 5 hours ago. Something that I don't think has been debunked by law enforcement, but I don't believe it. Chris from the mob crew doesn't believe it. It's a blob video. There's too many pixels from when the person took the video on her computer. So there's light coming off of from behind her camera, that she's taking the video with, onto her computer, and well, they didn't debunk it, K9. They said that it had no evidentiary value at the time, and that was like, I believe it was in April of this past year. But Nick Barris said to them, could it have value down the road? And they said, yes, they don't know what they don't know. So they didn't outright debunk it. Okay. So I heard someone talking about the school and kind of made sense. Are you talking about Mike? Mike used to be in here all the time. He was convinced that Sebastian went and crawled up in one of the vents in the school and got stuck, and he's been there ever since. And then he told me that he thought he was in somebody's chimney right by the school. But I told him that, number one, those vents are checked pretty often. Number two, if he was in a chimney, he didn't like to be dirty, so I didn't believe that to begin with. But if he was in a chimney, it was getting colder, so he would have started smelling. People would have seen it, smelt it. I agree. If we convince ourselves that he is not with us anymore, we stop looking for him in public places. I agree. So basically, they have said nothing has values, so we are brought back to the home. Nothing yet again showing he left. This is the world's biggest trivia game. What's up with everybody releasing info and making us decipher it all the time? Right, Jackie? Yes, I'm right there with you. Yes, they would smell that by now. I agree. Yeah, I'm sure he's getting it from other cases, because he had said that there was somebody else that got found in a school event or something. No, it was a good creator. She said these places come get them in the middle of the night, then they hide the fact that they are in the facility. Well, some YouTube brought back the phone call of the man saying he's Chris Proudfoot's cousin. He didn't have a nice thing to say about them, hoping Ellie has talked to them about this. I know. People are coming back up with stuff. Those schools cost money. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Allegedly, and Jen Coffendaver talked about this, there was audio of Sebastian on the dash cam video saying they made it home or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I mean, we don't know, do we? Yeah, and the whole point was, Cheryl, that they did not have the money to put him in those schools. Right? So, if they didn't have it then, how did they have it now all of a sudden? I've heard about the abduction by those boys' homes. Could be, could be. I mean, I didn't even know there was such a thing as labor trafficking until At Night brought it up. So, and one of the towns that they said they were going to be investigating this spring was a town about an hour from me. So I was like, I looked at the town on Google Maps, and it's all farmland, which would make sense. A lot of the farmers around here where I live, it's a lot of potato farms, dairy farms, potato and dairy farm, big time here. And they have migrant workers, right? So, I mean, it's not a far-fetched thought. Yeah. Well, and K9, we're unclear of anything because we don't have any facts, right? And what do we have to go on? The last known evidence is what we see right on the screen. Sebastian getting into that vehicle. That's the last known evidence that we have of Sebastian. Now, somebody said that a neighbor saw them coming home and could see Sebastian through the glass in the window, which I do believe, because when we saw him, and I'll show you, when we saw him get into this car, you can see him through the glass. Her windows are not that tinted, so you can actually see him. So, I wish these neighbors would come out and be on video saying, I saw Katie pulling into the garage and Sebastian, sure now, can't see it. But, you know what I'm saying? I saw her pulling into the garage with Sebastian in the passenger seat. I could see him through the window. That would be evidence of him coming home. But all we know is that a neighbor allegedly said it. And, well, where's this neighbor and where did she say it? Because we don't have that evidence, right? We heard that he was handed off right after this video. Is that true? We don't know. Yeah, that was different as well. I heard both, SRB. I heard the car pulling in. They could actually see him. And I also that they saw a shadow. But the one about the car, that they actually could see Sebastian through the window. That's what I heard. Now, where is this neighbor? Because I'd like to know. Paris Hilton went through something similar. Was she abducted or something? you'd think at least one neighborhood camera or traffic camera would clearly pick him up in the vehicle. And yeah, Dreamy, and maybe law enforcement has that, right? Because they're not going to tell us what all they have. And here's another thought. So they do have the car pulling in after TH, but they said they can't see anybody. Gotcha. The other thing that we know that we've heard, I'll have to check into that, SRB. I never heard about Paris Hilton's case. What was I going to say? Oh, that. Boom, right out of my head just that quickly. I'd like to know who that shadow was in the house window that they saw. But, then, that's what I was going to say. We've also heard, who was it that was in here all the time? That was telling us that they were in law enforcement, and it isn't unusual for law enforcement to lie. So, have they lied to us about anything? Green hoodie? And guys, I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay. We know that they debunked Green Hoodie, but the reason that they said they decided to put something out about Green Hoodie was that everybody in Sumner County was scared to wear green hoodies. And I know I'm laughing, but I could see that happening in our town too. I could see where all of a sudden everybody would be like, "Oh, I'm not wearing this." And they said that it had people running, scared. They didn't want to wear green hoodies. So that's why they, wanted to put it out that they had debunked it. So her parents arranged it. Oh, now I really have to go and look that up. Right? Like a Madeline DeSoto thing. Oh, I hate to think of that, Ginger. Oh, and they came in and took her at night. Oh my gosh. That's awful. Jackie. Well, don't they have isn't their high school green hoodies? Don't they sell green hoodies for their high school? I think the colors for the high school is green. So I think that's why it was such a big deal. Does she still talk to her parents? Hello, Robin. And Robin says green hoodie looks like KP's mom. Yeah. And after what we just found out, guys, about Katie letting Sebastian be around her mother, that's a scary thought. K9 thought it too, and I know Ginger said the same thing. And yes, I mean, after what we found out about, how Seth got upset with her because when she went to her grandpa's funeral, she let Sebastian be around in the same room with her mother. And that woman is not supposed to be around any children at all, ever. She's a registered SA offender. So, and that Sebastian had been talking to her on the phone, FaceTiming. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, Robin. Yeah, yeah. I've you can look it up by her name. They'll show you her mugshot because she is a registered offender. Well, yeah, SRB, and that's the thing, right? This mother has not protected her child over and over and over again. Not only did she let her mom be around Sebastian, she let an older boy be alone with Sebastian, causing him to be essayed in her home. And now Sebastian's missing. And she allowed him to be abused by her husband. So over and over and over again, she has not protected her son. That's not a good track record. I mean, that's a horrible track record when you look at it. And pretty much, Chris said, it's him or me. Well, looks like it's Chris, isn't it? Because Sebastian is nowhere to be found. Yeah, what was she thinking in every scenario? I mean, guys, first of all, I never allowed my children, when they have other kids over, I never allowed them to close their doors if they went into their bedroom to play toys or whatever. I never allowed them to close their doors. I know. I know. It was her mom's husband. So I think that was her stepdad, Larry McClure. Her mom's Larry McClure. Yeah. Red rummed his daughter's boyfriend and then married his daughter. Of course, they lied on the marriage certificate, but yeah. And that's who her mom was married to at some point. I don't know if Katie was around at that time or not. I don't know, but that whole family situation is sad. And when you look at what she comes from, yeah. I mean, what did she see as a young girl, Katie? Right? What did she see? Did she get any therapy for what she went through? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, she was taken like when she was 8 years old. I don't know when. Yeah, I agree, Robin. I don't know when her mother had married that Larry McClure, but it's disgusting. You don't have relations with your own daughter. Oh, yeah, so everything that she came from, honestly, she didn't belong having children until she got help herself, and I don't know if she ever did. It sounds like she went from that horrific situation into her grandparents' home, who spoiled her rotten, according to what her cousin Yada said. And so, you know, I don't know. I don't know, right? I mean, I feel for her that she went through that. That wasn't her fault either back then, right? But it really is about Sebastian, where he is, you know, and if he is out there, we never want to be guilty of anything that's going to make him be unsafe or be in jeopardy, right? Yes. Yes, Seth did. It's only until she really got with Chris that Sebastian came to live with her. I mean, that she was in charge of his upbringing from that point on. That's right. She didn't. She didn't deserve that childhood. And that's why I say, how many times have I said it? Mental health is so important. Because look what happens, guys. Robin, can't wait for the news. That'll be a joke. Yeah. Yeah. It will be. I don't think it's going to be anything of importance. As far as I know, that they're not even talking with law enforcement. So, Seth's the one that's talking and with them, and he's not saying a whole lot. He's not even, even when he goes into other chats, he doesn't say a whole bunch, guys. He's keeping things very close to the vest now too. And, it sounds like at night, same thing. They're even saying, we're working closely with law enforcement. If you guys know anything, call Sumner County. I mean, they're, you know, so the Navy would have changed her. Well, I don't know. I mean, it makes you tougher, I think. Um, I don't know if it would have changed her completely, right? I the the biggest thing that's on my heart is getting Sebastian home. And Ginger said it earlier. If we focus so much on the fact that he's no longer with us and people are searching the woods for him, I mean, obviously, it's been a year. If they're searching the woods, they're not looking for a live person. I'm just saying, guys. So, if we're focusing so much on that, then nobody's going to be really paying attention if Sebastian is alive and they walk right past him. That scares me. Because he could be. I mean, we have group home 30 miles away from here, right? And those kids are always coming into town. You know, what if Sebastian walked right past me and I had been thinking that he was gone? I'm not gonna be looking at those boys for Sebastian. Whereas if I'm in town and I see those boys get off their bus, I'm gonna be looking for Sebastian if I believe he's alive. See the difference that can make? I agree, SRB. The naval training may have done nothing more than make her barrier problems deeper. I agree. Because you're not supposed to feel. Especially in combat. They don't want you to think about your junk. Right? Your problems. Push them down. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's why, SRB, I'm going to continue believing that he's alive until or unless they bring us proof that he's not. You know, now I'm all for them if they've got, like at night, had put out those cities of places he may be. I'd be all up for going to that city, posting his flyer everywhere, getting word out there. That's different than going and looking in the woods for him. 'Cause, guys, I'll tell you what, I lived in that area for 3 years. Not that I'm, know everything about it, but I can tell you this. There's a lot of terrain out there that you could put somebody in. It would take a long time to find them. Why wouldn't they just say so? There it is if the father didn't have any idea they were doing that. And there is if they sold him to a labor camp, because that's illegal. It is if they SA trafficked him. That's illegal. It is if they wanted to get rid of him and didn't want him to be with Seth. Because of all the CPS reports that were out there. Yeah, well, I think he shot himself in the foot with this last one. And Robin, I can't agree with you about. I'm going to continue to believe that he is still alive until or unless we have proof that he is not. Law enforcement still believes he's alive, at night. Nick, dog, all believe he's alive. Seth believes he's alive. So I'm going to continue to go there. I'm going to continue to push that narrative because they have not told us anything different. I know that your story was different, right? And I get that. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember that well about the concrete and Chris. You know, but and I know that's where SF is going as well. Right. One of the cities, towns that at night said that they had tips for was like an hour from here, and I live in Wisconsin. So that gives you an idea. They have some kind of intelligence. They've been getting some tips, guys. So, I mean, it makes me want to get out there, and I wish I had the money to stay at like a hotel or something around there, and just because, I don't know, an hour every day would be a little bit much, but just drive around and see what I could see for a week solid or something, right? It's enough to make me want to do that, honestly. And I'm not saying look in the woods. I'm just saying driving up and down the farm roads and, looking in the fields and the workers in their driveways and, on their tractors and, going into the businesses in the city, handing out the flyers, just kind of watching, that makes me kind of want to do that, but I don't know. It's been pretty cold here. But yeah, I mean, he could be anywhere. He could even be out of the country, guys. We don't know. I don't think so. You have to kind of wonder, are they watching finances to see what's going on? I'm curious about that, right? I'm really curious about that. I don't know. But we'll see what happens, right? I don't know what time the mob crew was coming on. Yeah, they did mention Canada in their press release. Yep. Did they mention Alaska too? That's not really out of the country, though. It might as well be. It's far enough away, but yeah. So I mean, he could be in Mexico. We don't know, guys. And that's why I will say I don't think it does any good to be searching for him. When I hear SF saying, "Why isn't anybody out there searching?" Because they're doing intelligence. That's how they're searching. They're doing intelligence. It's been a year. You're not going to find Sebastian unless somebody stumbles over him at this point. or unless they have some kind of a lead. So, I mean, you have to have some kind of a lead, right? Think about Madeline Soto. Right? They had kind of an idea of an area where he got his flat tire. They have to have some kind of a lead because they don't know where to look if they think he's gone. And they don't think that. So, yeah, she really does. Not only for Sebastian, but for her own mental health. She needs to do what's right. Right? She needs to do what's right for Sebastian, for her son, and for her own mental health. It's time to break that generational curse that's on her family. Yeah, exactly. Someone saw him changing the tire and called it in. I don't think there were. I don't know if they had cadaver dogs out there or not, Ginger. But it was because of the tire. And they knew he had been on that road. So there's a little bit of both. So yeah, they have to have somewhere to look, right? But yeah, I'm going to show my grannyism. So learn from the mistakes of others because you can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Eleanor Roosevelt. I thought that was kind of a good one. Because, yeah, I mean, we learn from our mistakes, right? But we'll learn from the mistakes of others, and that just kind of goes along with what I said about Katie. She needs to learn from the mistakes of her family. And even though she may have changed it up a little bit, she still needs to learn from those mistakes. She needs to take ownership, speak out, and help herself. I'm confused, Ginger. You mean in her home? Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they could have because she was already gone, wasn't she? Me too, Ginger. Me too. We can only take them back, right? That's life, SRB. I mean, we keep making them, but hopefully we learn by them. And with, I'm just thinking about Katie, right? She didn't have that great of a childhood. And then when she was taken out of that abuse, I don't think she was helped. And she went to being spoiled. So I don't know. mental health is so important, and I don't think she got it, right? I don't think she did, and so she went on to abuse her own son. Yeah, we aren't perfect, you know, and the best thing that we can hope to do is to be better tomorrow, right? Make our mistakes, apologize if we need to, whatever we have to do, right? And do better tomorrow, right? And I think every parent wants to do this. We want to be a better parent than our parents were, right? I mean, we've seen it happen where, I, you know, my dad used a belt on us, right? I didn't use a belt on my kids, So things change as generations go on if we make a conscious effort to make those changes. Yeah. It's almost like, yeah. But we know that kids, even though they're abused, they still love their mothers. They still love their parents, right? My dad hit me with the belt. I still loved him. I still hurt that he's gone. Some days are worse than others, right? I think I only got the belt twice in my life, but I'm just saying, we still love them. Kids don't stop loving their parents just because they're abused. But something in her should have told her not to bring her son. Or does she think that's okay? Is her mind that warped that she thought that what her mother did is okay? I mean, I don't know. I would hate to think so. Hurting people hurt others, right? And I think there's a classic case of that. I think that's a real classic case of that. But so, what did we learn tonight? We learned that SF's photo is junk. It's debunked. It's not what he says it was. Yes. And we also learned that children desperately want the love of our parents, even when they don't love us back. And Sebastian would have felt that way about both his mom and his dad. Maybe not so much about Chris. From the sounds of it, he didn't like Chris. I think he was afraid of Chris, in my opinion. But we've got 3 days, right? Today is my youngest daughter's 44th birthday. Oh, I'm getting old. It just reminded me, 22nd. Today is her 44th birthday. All right. Well, that's all I had for you guys tonight. If Mob Crew's going to be on, maybe he has some other information about that video. I know that when he gets a video, he looks at it very closely. He looks at things very, very closely. Because he wants to make sure that there's nothing or either either or, nothing or something there, right? So your faith is 48 on February 26th. Your daughter, yeah. Wow. Yeah. That makes me feel old when I think of my daughter, and my daughter's in there. My oldest one is 49. But yeah, guys, so if you're going to head over to the Mob Crew, I'll see you there. And thank you guys for being with me tonight. I appreciate you, each one of you. Enjoy having our time to sit and think about things and try to figure out what's going on, right? But thank you so much, and we will see you. Oh, he says there's a lot going on. All right. Oh, your son's going to be over 50. Oh, goodness. All right, everybody. Well, we'll see you over at the Mob Crew. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.